Hey everyone, and welcome to another Book Lore production and follow along blog production of Book Club Night. I'm your host, Book Lore Jen, with my cohort in crime,
Heather.
from Follow Along blog. This month's book was Alice's Adventures in Wonderland.
I don't know about you, but my copy of this book had pictures in it, and I cannot get over it. Like, I just can't. Like,
Weren't
everybody
they all drawn by Lewis Carroll?
No, they were drawn by various people.
Oh.
They had one illustrator's, let me see if I can find it in the book itself. They had it at the end. They had one main illustrator throughout the main part of the book, but at the end of this copy, it had different illustrations from different
printing.
Yes, different printings and just random people who decided, because this is such a strange book and so many strange things happen that some people's like draw pictures. They're going to take that as inspiration.
Yes. And we would love to see your own versions of inspiration. So make sure to hit us up at bookloreproductions.com. Send us your inspirations.
Best pictures. But the ones from the book that I read are by Sir John Tenniel, drawn in 1865 for Macmillan. But everybody has a giant head, except for Alice herself. Alice herself has a pretty normal, if not kind of mean gaze, but everybody is a giant head. And all the creatures, even most of them, I want to say a good 80% of the animals in this story are like a combination of animals. For example, the mock turtle at first looked like a pig with a tortoise shell or a turtle shell, but in a different picture, it actually kind of looked like a goat with a turtle shell. By the way, did they ever have the mock turtle in the movie?
Our copy of it is VHS.
My copy was too.
And let's just say I haven't rehooked up the VCR in quite some time. Yes, we still have a VCR.
Hey man, that thing's a collectible now.
They
don't even make them anymore. But the illustrated Alice, in my opinion, in my humble opinion, makes the story a little bit creepier. What do you think? Did you read? I know you said that you might have had the illustrated version.
Well, Adobe actually has a PDF version of it, of the original copying, and so I've got that one. So it has some illustration, not a lot. And then there was the free version sponsored by Project Gutenberg. Gutenberg. This is just going to be.
Just leave it. It'll be all right.
No, it'll lose. No. Gutenberg. Hindenburg. Okay. There we go. We'll just call it the Hindenburg because this is all blowing up. This is all landing and blowing up.
Nice.
Project Hindenburg.
I just sent you a picture. I want you to look at this picture. I sent it on your phone.
I just got
there it comes. I heard. Tell me what you think about that picture.
This is the part where her neck gets so long, right?
Yes. The pool of tears. So this is when she can't figure out the right combination of cookies and cakes and drinks and stuff. She can't figure out like the right ratio so that she can fit through the door. This is not where she looks like a snake and the guy's like, hey, are you a snake? Do you eat eggs? And she's like, of course I eat eggs. And then the mouse is like, then you're a snake. They have very strange logic in this book, but it's hard to fight. I feel Alice's frustrations in this book.
Okay, well, the first question I had was, you see a bottle that says drink me. Yeah. Are you going to drink it? Not knowing what's in it. You just see a bottle. It says drink me. And she's all like, no, I'll look first and see if it's poison. And okay, remember she's what, maybe 8, 9 years old?
Yes.
Okay, how are you going to know if it's poison? I mean, at that age, I knew you didn't use wisteria plants for hot dogs, but wisteria vines to cook hot dogs. But
here's what it says. It says, it was all very well to say drink me, but the wise little Alice was not going to do that in a hurry. No, I'll look for it first, she said, and whether it's marked poison or not, for she had read several nice little histories about children who got burnt and eaten up by wild beasts and other unpleasant things, all because they would not remember the simple rules their friends had taught them, such as, and it goes on and on. So she did look to see if it was marked poison, but it wasn't. So she's like, I'll try it. I mean, I wouldn't be like gung-ho to try it, but I mean, think about it. If you're a little kid and you're trapped in a room, you can't go back up because you were falling for like what seemed probably probably like days and days. And then you finally landed, and then you can't even fit through any of the doors. Like, what are you going to do? Besides cry a little bit.
And sing Lady Marmalade. Or was that just me?
That was just you.
That was just me.
Why would you
When
sing?
she found the jar of orange marmalade, she took out a jar from one of the shelves as she passed. It was labeled orange marmalade, but to her great disappointment, it was empty. She didn't like to drop the jar from a fear of killing somebody, so she managed to put it on one of the cupboards as she fell past. And of course, start singing Lady Marmalade at that point. One thing says something and it makes you think of another thing.
Oh, friend.
I know. So like this orange marmalade and me doing the Lady Marmalade.
Yeah, but when you said lady, because it sounded like you said single lady marmalade, and I was thinking all the single ladies.
That's so even better. All the single ladies. All the single ladies.
Yes. All right. Now we belong in Alice's Adventures in Wonderland because we are a hot mess right now. We belong at that tea party, the Mad Hatter's tea party.
Yes.
Which in the movie is so much nicer. They're so much nicer to Alice. In this book, they are straight up rude. They basically keep everybody in this book, like everybody in Wonderland, tells Alice to shut up at least once or twice.
And not only that, did you notice that in the only one that gets a clean plate is the Hatter? Everyone moves down a place setting, but it's only one setting. It's
so
Alice
the Hatter's the only one.
Hares, and the hare moved to the Dormouse, and the Dormouse moved to the Hatters, but the Hatter moved to a clean place setting. So it's like,
don't forget like
all these dirty dishes and.
But you're in Wonderland, and the Hatter's crazy, so I'm pretty sure if he moved to a dirty plate, he wouldn't have noticed. You know why the Mad Hatter's mad, right? Because Hatters back then used a certain chemical to form the hat. They used a specific chemical to form the hats, and upon wearing the hats and spending that much time around that chemical, it caused them to go crazy.
Bedlam ensued. I don't know if it was just me or if Alice's Adventures in Wonderland was more like Alice got locked in the insane asylum and this is how she coped with it.
Mercury. Sorry.
Yes.
Is occupational chronic mercury poisoning. The weird things you remember. But yes, that's why the Mad Hatter's crazy.
Let's go back to the mouse. Remember the mouse?
Which one?
The first one. The first mouse. Not the dormouse, but the first mouse. The one that's in the pool of tears.
Yes.
Because she gets so tall and she cries. It creates a sea.
And then she doesn't stop talking to that poor mouse about her cat.
That mouse was so traumatized.
Right? And she just didn't understand. She's like, I want to talk about my cat. And I'm like, really? Really?
It had to
talk to you about a shark.
Therapy.
Speaking of cats, my cat's missing. I don't know where she is right now. She's not
missing. She's been shanghaied into service by the tagalongs.
Oh no. She knows better than that. She smacked them in the face a couple of times.
Oh.
Without the claws. She keeps her claws retracted, so that's not like she's scratching them, but she'll whap them in the face if they get too close to her, because they like to chase her around sometimes. And she gets tired and whap, paw to the face. And they're like, what just happened?
Well, you know this mouse is French, right?
Why are mice always French?
Ratatouille.
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 Have you ever seen Rise of the Guardians?
Yes.
So the Tooth Fairy, her French division were mice.
I wonder if there's some sort of social thing going on there that we don't know about, or history.
And if I could go out into my living room to get to my bookshelf, I would look at my books, because in college I read Mouse, which is the M-A-U-S, the comic about the Holocaust. Those were Jewish mice. I'm trying to figure out, the French were frogs in that.
Yeah.
Because every different nationality, there we go, was a different animal. Okay, I'm better now.
All right, so if you Google French and mice, one of the things that come up, besides some disturbing issues of a woman tonguing a mouse and mouse popsicle sticks, and one of them is cooking rats and mice. Rats are still eaten in some parts of France.
Ooh, you know what? I'm not gonna knock it. I mean, it's meat, I guess.
If you're that hungry, I guess, yeah.
Do what you gotta do, man. Do you know what that reminds me of? ADD Hour on Folklore Productions. But that reminds me of Demolition Man. Do you know why? Because they ate rats. They did Rat Burgers and with Sandra Bullock and what's his face? Wesley
Oh.
Snipes. Was it Wesley Snipes?
Yes.
Am I wrong?
No.
He was.
Yes.
Dude.
Sweet.
Back to Alice in Wonderland. Back to Alice in Wonderland.
We're jumping around just about as much as the book does.
But it's okay because, let's be honest, this is a lot more interesting than the way we have been doing things.
Yeah, it's more like, I quite forgot you didn't like cats. Not like cats, cried the mouse in a shrill, passionate voice. Would you like cats if you were me? Tom, Jerry?
I was correct. Wesley Snipes, Sylvester Stallone.
Fact checker.
And Sandra Bullock. Wah. Anyway, I'm not crazy. Yay!
Jury's still out on that one.
Oh, friend. So, talk to me about the Duchess, who has an extremely large head in the pictures. Extremely, like it's bigger than her body. And in the pictures, well, no, because in the pictures, the baby literally turns into a pig. It doesn't start out like a pig, which I assume that it did. And to be a little distracted once again, but within the same subject, I feel like Lewis Carroll was the first one to interject a random music scene, like music and dancing, into any form of media. Because they all broke out into song. Did you not catch that? Let me find
this is the guy we blame for all the Disney movies being song and dance numbers.
It was super weird, and that crazy cook that just kept throwing things at everybody.
It's like either she had really, really bad aim, or she knew she was going to get fired if she actually hit them. So
no, she did actually
really get.
She did hit them.
She did hit them.
Yeah, she did hit them.
And
I reread that part yesterday.
Off them or something?
She threw it. She threw everything within her reach, and she couldn't tell. And by she, I mean Alice couldn't tell because the Duchess acted like nothing hit her, but stuff was hitting her, and she couldn't tell because the baby was screaming before the cook started throwing things, whether the baby was actually hurt or not. Let's see. At once set to work, throwing everything within her reach at the Duchess and the baby. The fire irons came first, and followed a shower of saucepans, plates, and dishes. The Duchess took no notice of them, even when they hit her, and the baby was howling so much that it was quite impossible to say whether the blows hurt or not. So and then she started singing like a random lullaby while she was violently shaking her child, in which, during the chorus, the cook and the baby joined in with the wow, wow, wow. And then the Duchess kept singing. I mean, this is straight up ridiculous. Like, I don't even know. Like, what do you do about something? I mean, not what do you do about something like that, but honestly, if I was Alice, I wouldn't have taken, I might have taken the baby, but I would have just like turned around and walked away, because what do you do in that situation?
Well, apparently you do the Patrick Dempsey thing or the Eugene Fitzherberts and go, does everyone know these words but me? Oh gosh. And then, mind you, take a baby away. What are you gonna, well, if you're Alice, you take the baby away. And then what do you do? Well, apparently you let it turn into a pig. And and I was like, a real pig? And it's like, a real pig.
Like a legit pig. It turns into a legit pig. I mean, I've always wanted a pig, I'll be honest with you. And if my kids turned into a pig, at least one of them, I don't know. I can't say that I'd be disappointed.
You wanted a pig after like Boy Meets World and Sean had a pig, didn't you?
No.
You wanted a pig before then?
Well, I barely remember that. Boy Meets World was not my favorite.
Really? TGIF.
I know. I was more into like Sabrina the Teenage Witch. I
did like Sabrina.
She was my fave. But yes, cook throwing everything within reach. And then she meets probably the nicest character within this entire book, which is the Cheshire Cat. And how do you behead something that doesn't have a body? That's the real question. Did you know they asked that question in this book?
Yes. The executioner and king quarreled over it.
Yes, they did. But how do you behead something that doesn't have a body? And I love the fact that the Cheshire Cat's head just floated there laughing at them all.
Well, if you go supernatural fandom, you use the iron poker. And it disperses the ghost.
They don't need to disperse the ghost. They just need to behead the cat. Because they didn't want to disperse it. They just wanted to behead it. How do you behead something without a body?
It's already beheaded.
Exactly. But honestly, like, the cat was like the nicest one there. Because if you've noticed, he's like the only one that did not call her stupid or tell her to shut up.
But then again, she loved Dinah. So she was just dreaming about Dinah? Spoiler alert. It's all
in case nobody
Dynasty reference here.
Bringing it way back.
I know.
Okay, I have a question for you. We're going to skip over the tea party because we already talked about the tea party. Can we go back to the Mock Turtle?
Yes.
Have you ever had mock turtle soup? What is mock turtle soup?
I have not had mock turtle soup. Well, first of all, it's a turtle that wears this little tiny, almost like a turtleneck. Mop, mop, but it's mock.
Sorry.
So, mock turtle soup.
Are you reading it?
Yes, is an
Okay.
English soup that was created in the mid-18th century as a cheaper imitation to green turtle soup. It often uses brains, organs such as calf head or calf foot to duplicate the texture and flavor of the original turtle meat. Mrs. Fowle's mock turtle soup takes a large calf head, scald the hair off. Scald, as in
I was going to cover my ears, but I can't because my headphones are in.
boil until the horn is tender, and then cut it
And
into
yet she
slices
keeps
about
going.
the size of your finger with as lean as possible.
Why are you doing this to me?
Have 3 pints of good mutton or veal broth.
What is the purpose of this? What is the purpose?
Put it in half
Call the Griffin.
Mandalera wine and half a teaspoon of thyme, pepper, large onion, the peel of a lemon. You can't chop it very small. 1/4 of a pint of oysters and their liquor, and salt, the juice of 2 large onions. So you've got to.
How do you juice an onion?
They're tears, man. Tears. Actually, you can buy onion juice in the bottle in the store.
Oh.
I just kind of wonder about that ratio. Some sweet herbs and the brains chopped. Stand these together for about an hour and send it to the table with force meat balls made small and yolks of hard eggs.
I'm done. Done. D-O-N-E.
Oh, here's a fun fact. Like that wasn't fun fact enough. The Campbell Soup Company once produced canned mock turtle soup made of calf's head. And in a 1962 interview with David Burton, Andy Warhol commented on Campbell's discontinuing soups and said that mock turtle had once been his favorite.
I believe it.
That's why his artwork is the way it is, right? Wow.
Woman. Anyway, I'm gonna take a pass on that. I'm also gonna pass on mentioning anything about the end of this book because it made absolutely no sense to me. It's like you could kind of tell like Alice was trying to make her way, like she was on a journey to something, and then her journey was to the Queen, and then she woke up. Like nothing exciting happened. Yeah, and I just don't understand. And I was actually very disappointed in this book. I'll be honest.
Yes. Although I did go around for a couple of days singing Twinkle, Twinkle, Little Bat, How I Wonder Where You're At. Although I would have been more impressed with it if the Twinkle, Twinkle, Little Bat was like heavy metal.
Oh, Lord.
It would have been more like, Twinkle, Twinkle, Little Bat! Okay.
You have a voice for hardcore metal. For death metal.
Thank you.
Okay, so if you were to rate this book based on a number of tea cakes, how many tea cakes would you give it? 1 out of 5. Like 1 between the number of 1 and 5 tea cakes. Like to make things difficult.
It depends on how moist the tea cakes are. Like if they're really dry tea cakes.
Well, would you think it was a dry tea cake, this book, or would you think it was a nice moist tea cake?
It was definitely...
By the way. Moist, friend.
Moist.
A moist tea cake.
A moist tea cake. Excuse me, I like pie with my tea, thank you. Pecan, a la mode, apple.
Dry or moist?
That just sounds dirty when you say it like that.
It does. It's just a bad word. I'm going to go ahead and call it The Adventures of Alice in Wonderland.
Is not a home run.
It was definitely a dry tea cake. It was like tea without honey.
Oh.
It was like tea with too much rum in it. Ooh.
I don't know.
You didn't know where you were. You ended up under a table. You're like, how in the world did I just get here?
The Mad Hatter.
Friend, he must have had some rum in his tea. I can't.
A very merry birthday to you.
I was disappointed that wasn't in there either.
I was so looking forward to that part, and then it wasn't in there. And so I guess I got it all crisscrossed.
Yep, everything was quite confusing.
Okay.
All right, would you like to announce next month's book?
Yes. Next month's book is by Pierce Brown, and it's Red Rising. So join us for a spooktacular read this October.
And it will be the Friday before Halloween, because I do believe Halloween is on a Monday this year.
So on October the 28th, join us here at 8 o'clock for our spooktacular read of the month, Red Rising by Pierce Brown. And have a good night.
Good night.
Have a good night.
Good night.
Have a good night.
Good night.